Alright. Assalamualaikum. I am Maham Feroz, Marketing Officer at PFL Education. So PFL Group International is one of the leading UK-owned and managed student placement agencies. We offer the widest range of services and commitment to our customers seeking higher education to UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and UAE. So today we have Mr. Ali Raza Tariq, who is the Country Liaison Officer for University of Chester. So sir, would you like to tell us about the University of Chester?
Yes, thank you, Maham, and thank you, PFL team, for having me today for this Q&A live session. Well, talking about my university, University of Chester is one of the oldest educational establishments in the UK. We were established in 1839 as a teachers training college, and by that time, now we are considered to be a medium-sized university by the UK standards, having around 20,000 plus students coming from 130 plus different nationalities, making university a very, very lively and very diverse place to study in. University of Chester has a very great location. We are quite in the middle of the UK, providing access to the north and the south of the UK. University of Chester is among those universities who are considered to be the most affordable in the UK and providing a wide spectrum of courses. So that is just brief about the university. So I'm sure you must have so many questions that we are going to explore more about the university.
Yes. So my first question would be about the famous subjects for Pakistani students at your prestigious university.
Well, talking about University of Chester, as I said, we offer around 200 plus degree programs at undergraduate and postgraduate level across a wide spectrum of subject areas. Our teaching at the university is, I would say, structured around 7 faculties. So we are offering programs within arts, humanities. We have a dedicated business school. We are running programs within education and child services. We have a faculty with the name of health and social care, medicine and life sciences, science and engineering, and finally social science. These faculties provide a range of programs, undergraduate, postgraduate, foundation, and even research degrees within arts, design, media, music, performance, languages, theology, gender studies, biology, chemical sciences, engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, law, history, politics, and whatnot. But there are certain popular subject areas with the Pakistani students. So mainly, I would say business studies are very popular among the Pakistani students. The second most popular subject area at the University of Chester for Pakistani students is medical and life sciences. And on the third, it is engineering, computer science, and then to a lesser extent, we receive application within arts and humanities, social care, health and social care, and then finally in social sciences. And there is a little interest within the education and child services as well at the undergraduate level. But these are very popular programs at the postgraduate level. So yes, university offers a wide spectrum of subject areas, but we are also offering the popular subject areas which are highly sought after by the Pakistani students.
Right, sir. So what are the entry requirements for undergraduate and postgraduate students at the University of Chester?
Well, at University of Chester, we accept pretty much every qualification from Pakistan, be it local stream, metric, intermediate, FA, FSC, ICOM, and even if the students are coming from international schooling streams, for example, A levels, for example, IB schooling, or even if they are coming from American high school diploma. At undergraduate level, so at University of Chester, we offer programs from foundation level to PhD research level, and the requirements varies with the degree level to the subject area. So, for example, for the foundation level studies, where we offer 1 year foundation program, and then we have 4 years integrated program where students go for the first year foundation studies and then they progress to their undergraduate studies. So for the undergraduate level, for the foundation level studies, we generally require 50% and above from the intermediate students. If there is a specific subject requirement, then student will need to have required 50% or above in in those subjects. For example, if a student is planning to join us for business management, BSc Business Management, including foundation. They'll need to have very overall 50%, but they will also need to have very good grades at metric maths, because in business studies, you need to be very analytical and you need to have very good grades in the analytical subjects. Likewise, if we talk about the undergraduate, straight entry, direct entry to our first year of our 3 years undergraduate degree, we will need 70% from science and engineering stream at intermediate. So FSC pre-medical, FSC pre-engineering, ICS students, they can join us if they have 70% or above. If students are coming from arts, humanities, or social science stream, for example, if they are coming from FA, ICOM, then they'll need to have minimum 75% to get entry at University of Chester. Talking about the postgraduate, at postgraduate level, Pakistani education system, it's being structured in a newer way, but we used to have multiple type of qualification. For example, we used to have this 2 years bachelor's, we used to have this 2 years bachelor's followed by 3 years law, then we have this 2 years associate degree programs, and then we have 2 years MScs, 3-year BScs, 1 year MScs. So we can accept pretty much every qualification from Pakistani institutions. Talking about the entry requirement, from 4 years bachelor degrees, 4 years honor degrees, we need minimum 55%. However, if the student is coming from, let's say, 2 year bachelor's plus 2 year master's, then they'll need to have 55% in their 2 years bachelor and 60% and above in their 2 years master's. So yes, students coming from any stream, from any qualification, they can join us. And if they need any assistance, our partners like PFL are there to support. But if they need any assistance, they can always approach university or myself.
So, sir, as you mentioned that you accept metric pass or O levels, A levels. So, do you accept students on predicted grades of A levels and HSC?
Well, yes, we can accept students with the predicted grades, but only for the OA levels. The reason being, OA levels results are generally announced mid-August, and they are able to get their final results towards end of August or maybe first week of September, which means they can present their grades to the university, they can present their final certificates to the university, and university can make them unconditional offer, which is required to apply for CAS and apply for visa. In case of HSSC, intermediate stream, their result is announced mid-September, and generally the university classes are starting mid-September. So once their result is announced, they are only able to get their final certificates probably in November. And by the time university has started teaching, and we are into 2 weeks or probably 4 weeks of teaching. So that is why, unfortunately, HSSC students, they need to wait another year. So they need to wait for the next September 2022. For example, the students graduating from intermediate, they'll need to join us in September 2022. But for the IB A-level students, international schooling systems, where we where the admission dates are quite in line with the university start dates. So yes, we can accept students on the basis of predicted grade there.
So, what is the tuition fee structure for undergrads and postgrad students?
Well, here I would like to proudly or happily would like to highlight this. University of Chester is among the most affordable universities in the UK. So if you just run a simple Google search and look for the most affordable universities in the UK, you'll come across Chester. So University of Chester is, every international student is charged a different tuition fee than the home or home students, basically not the EU students anymore. So at foundation level, we are charging £9,250. Students who are going for bachelor's including foundation, they'll be paying £9,250 for the first year, and then they'll be paying undergraduate tuition fee, which is £12,750 for the subsequent 3 years. Likewise, and unfortunately, there is no scholarship for the foundation level studies. At undergraduate level, The tuition fees is around £12,750. For postgraduate, the tuition fees for majority of our subject areas is £12,950. And we do offer scholarships up to £3,000 for the postgraduate and up to £2,000 at undergraduate level.
All right. So, said the fee structure is quite affordable, but how much does it cost for a living?
Ah, well, very good question. And there are many students who are very, I would say, very conscious about when they are in the UK, how much they would be spending and how much they would be earning. If we talk about University of Chester, we are in the northwest of the UK, and northwest region, and especially Chester, is considered to be very affordable region. In Chester, student can expect to spend around 600 to 700 pounds a month compared to the other southern states. For example, if a student is going for studies in London, they'll have to spend around 1,000 to 1,100 pounds. But when it comes to Chester, the region is very affordable, the city is very affordable, and students can manage in a very reasonable budget. They can manage a very reasonable lifestyle in probably 600 to 700 pounds. So University of Chester, is not only affordable, it also provide a very affordable cost of living. And on top of that, students who are coming to study in Chester, they have the opportunity to work in Chester, they can work in Manchester, they can work in Liverpool. So this make University of Chester an ideal choice for the students because they are getting very affordable tuition fee. They will be living at a very reasonable cost, and the earning opportunities will be immense because when you have three cities to look for, you can definitely end up with a very good job opportunity.
So, can you tell us about the reputation and ranking of the university?
Well, University of Chester, as I told you, we have a long history of producing some very bright minds for the UK, and we generally stand out in terms of league tables. For example, recently, the Complete University Guide launched their or published their rankings for this year, and we are ranked 72nd in the UK. This is a 22 places rise from the last year. If we talk about, for example, the Times Higher Education Good University Guide, that also follows the Complete University Guide, and we are expecting to hold prominent positions over there. But currently, we are, for the Times Higher Education, we are in the 80s. When it comes to the reputation and the ranking of the university, I would always quote the students to go for the UK governmental rankings because such as Times Higher Education, QS World University ranking, or maybe Complete University Guide, these are all magazine rankings. When every year the UK government also rank the universities according to their research power or maybe according to their teaching power. University of Chester, we are not a research led university, we are not a knowledge producing university. In fact, we are a knowledge disseminating university, we are a teaching university. So when it comes to the teaching universities, we compete in the teaching excellence framework, which is a governmental exercise. It is done every periodically, and there University of Chester holds the silver status, as does Manchester University, as does Durham University, and as does King's College London, which means the UK government thinks the quality of teaching at University of Chester is quite at par with those very renowned institutions and charging around 2 to 3 times of the tuition fee what University of Chester is charging. Along with that, I mean, we have recently decided to go for the Times Higher Education and QS World rankings as well from the next year. So we'll be submitting our first submission this year, and we hope to perform very good in the global rankings as well.
So, I would like to ask about the Pakistani university's eligibility acceptance in terms of getting admission at your university.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we can accept pretty much every qualification from Pakistani universities. So, if we look at the structure of the qualification at in Pakistan, here we used to, now we have these 4 year degrees, but before that we used to have 2 years degrees. For example, if a student wants to go for law, he'll have to go for 2 years BA, and then he'll have to go for 3 years bachelor's. And then we have another stream, for example, student studied 2 years BCom, and then he went for 3.5 years MBA. Likewise, we have, particularly in SIN, we have these 3 years BSc degrees and then 1 year MSc's degrees. So we can accept all these qualifications, and the entry requirement would stay the same as I mentioned earlier. In case of two qualifications, we'll need 55% in the first qualification in 2 years qualification, and then 60% and above in the second qualification. So for example, if a student want to study, let's say MSc management at University of Chester, and he has done 2 years BCom followed by 3.5 years MBA. So he'll need to have 55% at bachelor's and then 60% at MBA. Then he'll be eligible to join us for postgraduate. So the entry requirements will stay intact, but we can accept pretty much every qualification.
So, the University of Chester has developed its own English language test. So, would you like to highlight about it?
Yes. So in Pakistan, I've come across many students who can speak very well, who can communicate very well in English, but they are somewhat afraid of the IELTS or all these language proficiency tests. So we have this University of Chester English language test, which we have been administering from the past 7 to 8 years. It is very it has very good standing with the UKVI as well. This test is free of cost first, and it is only available to the applicants. Students who have applied to the university and who have received an offer to study with us, they can book this test. This test lasts for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it has the four components, all four components: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So for example, for the reading component, student will given a passage. He'll need to go through that passage and then summarize or rephrase that passage. Let's say for the listening component, student will need to listen to a tape or script, and then they'll need to answer the questions. If we talk about the speaking of this test, it is it's a section where assessor and the interviewee will be having an informal conversation, for example, maybe about your qualification, maybe about any experience. So yes, we do have this test. It is free of cost. We assess all the four modules, but we do not publish the results. So generally, when a student has passed, we'll just remove the condition. If a student has failed, we'll inform them, but we cannot, or students cannot use this test for any other university.
So, does your prestigious university allow students to get the IELTS waiver or accept any other English proficiency test?
Yes. So at University of Chester, we accept a range of language proficiency qualification. For example, for the undergraduate students, if they are coming from OA levels, we can accept C grade and above in O levels English. If the students are coming from IB, they can and they have very good grade in English, we can accept that. Along with these, standard qualification, we can accept a range of other qualification. For example, we can accept ISC, we can accept PTE, we can accept. Quite recently, we have started accepting Oxford English test. We are accepting occupational English language test, and there is a full list of qualifications we can accept that is available on website. And if the students have, required proficiency in those qualifications, they can definitely join us without have to appear for IELTS or maybe for USL if they have proficiency in the other tests.
So, what accommodation your institute provides to the international students and how costly it is?
Well, as I told you, Chester is very affordable city to live in, and in line with that, um the accommodation cost at the University of Chester is affordable. At university, we have three kind of accommodation options. So we have on-campus accommodation, we have off-campus accommodation, and then we have partner accommodation. And within these three options, students can go for semi-catered, fully catered options. Uh, Whether the students are based in our Warrington campus, they are based in our Shrewsbury campus, or they are based in our, let's say, Chester main campus, Queens Park campus, any campus, they'll find university owned accommodation in the close proximity. And these accommodation option, I was just having a look the other day, the cheapest accommodation option starts at 80 pounds per week and goes up to 120 pounds. So that depends on the level of facilities and amenities you require and the kind of location where you want to live in. So starting from 80 pounds going up to 120 pounds, we have on campus, off campus, and even private accommodations. And
So
especially
what are
these are
the,
very,
sorry.
sorry, just to add, I mean, this is very good option for the minor students, especially who are coming to study for foundation, or maybe who are coming to study for their first degree at University of Chester. And we offer guaranteed accommodation to all the students who make who launch application for accommodation in time, and who, I mean, fulfill all the prereqs. So if a student is planning to join us in September and they have done all the pre-requirements, prereqs within the deadline, they are going to get the university. It is considered to be among top 30 safest city campuses in the UK. So, this is particularly important for the female students, because when female students are traveling abroad, especially in Pakistan, parents are very worried about their safety. So I just want to ensure you all that University of Chester is one of the safest campuses in the UK, and we never heard of any crime on campus. So apply with confidence if you want to study with us.
So, sir, what are the main attractions of your location and support for international students?
Well, as I told you, uh, University of Chester, or I mean Chester, is quite in the middle of the UK, so it provides very good access to whole of the UK. If a student wants to, let's say, go to London, they can hop on a fast train and they can go to London in 2 hours. We have Manchester just 50 minutes away and Liverpool 40 minutes away. So talking about Manchester, which is predominantly where we have a very strong community of Asians, and Chester, on the other hand, is a predominantly a British town, British city. So student studying at Chester, they'll have the best of both worlds. So there are some students who just want to experience the British culture. They can live in Chester. They can have a very good experience. But if a student is feeling homesick, they can just hop on a bus. They can go to Manchester, and they'll find a very good South Asian community over there. Apart from this, Chester itself is a tourist town, so we attract around 8 million tourists a year, which means we have so many attractions in town and we have so much to socialize. So in Chester, we have the biggest zoo in the Europe. We have the largest designer of shopping outlets in Chester. If we talk about the oldest race course in the UK that is still in use, and we have the second most photographed clock in the world, that is, we call it Eastgate clock. Apart from this, University of Chester, provides a very happening life to the students on campus and off campus. So University of Chester has multiple campuses within the city of Chester. So if a student, I mean, if a student is planning to go from Queens Park campus to the main campus for some tasks, they'll be just going through the city center, having a nice little walk. And in this case, the city itself will be the students' teaching space. So students will be learning in a social environment, as well as they'll be having very good academics at the university. So when it comes to the international students, I always recommend that your international exposure is not just about the piece of paper. It is a very good balance between your academic and between your social life. And Chester has to offer a very active social life to the students.
So, does the university provide any mentorship to the student throughout the duration of studies?
So yes, at University of Chester, we have this personal academic tutor program, whereby each student is designated a personal academic tutor. Excuse me. where a student has designated a personal academic tutor who is going to ensure the academic well-being of the student. Apart from this, for the undergraduate students, we are running this programs with placement year option. And then we have this work-based learning module for the undergraduate student. Every undergraduate student need to go to the industry, need to work, and need to see how the knowledge they are studying in the class is actually applied in the industry. They got the mentors who are, helping them to translate the knowledge they have, the theoretical knowledge, into the practical working. So yes, at the undergraduate level, postgraduate level, we have this personal academic tutors, and at the undergraduate level, we have this practical mentorship as well.
So, does your university provide job placement to these students?
Well, like all other universities, we have a careers and employability team which have been winning certain awards in the past some years. They are considered to be the seventh strongest team in the UK, and the careers and employability team is very active in terms of creating opportunities for the student, informing students of the opportunities, and making them more employable. In the past year, our employability and careers team were able to recruit 196 students, to be exact, through uni jobs, who were international students who are now working jobs in the university. Even in the pandemic situation, this team they were able to host around 40 virtual events, employer-led events, where employers and students were able to meet with each other, learn about each other, and got to know about the different opportunities, job opportunities that the different employers are having. Apart from this, University of Chester careers and employability team provides support to students in every possible manner. For example, how to improve their CV, how to undertake interviews, how to approach employers, where the positions are. But going into the field, securing that job, that is basically students' responsibility. So they'll get all the support, they'll get all the kind of links, contacts, and connections. But securing the job, it is the student's responsibility, like in every university.
So, what different safety measures are taken by the university against corona pandemic for international students?
Well, University of Chester, I'm very proud to say that University of Chester was one of those universities who come up with a very favorable refund policies, uh, keeping in view the pandemic situation. We, as soon as the pandemic hit, we moved to the blended teaching or the blended learning for the students, where students were able to learn online, as well as whenever possible, they were able to come onto campus, have group teachings, have group learnings, have group um, sessions at the university. So shifting from ensuring the student academic well-being through the blended learning approach, and then securing our sites was the biggest challenge when it comes to when the pandemic was hitting hard in the UK. So University of Chester, we went with the first closing all the facilities, and then sanitizing all the facilities, and eventually coming up with the policies and with the strategies on how we can reduce the impact of the pandemic on our students, and how we can secure our sites, and how we can ensure the teaching quality is the same as the students would have on campus. So we started this lateral flow. We started this on-campus PCR testing. We When international students started arriving during the pandemic situation, so University of Chester was among those universities who come up with a very supportive quarantine packages for the students. Right now, we are having the same practices in place everywhere. Students have one-way flow, one-way direction. One-way flow of students, proper ventilation, sanitization, and continuous PCR testing keep us to ke- I mean our campus strong and our students safe.
So, are you currently accepting applications?
So yes, we are currently accepting applications for all undergraduate and postgraduate programs, except MPH program, Master in Public Health, which has been closed recently, very recently, and then we are not accepting application for MS Social Work. There are certain programs which have been closed now, for example, adult nursing. Other undergraduate programs and postgraduate programs will close on 23rd of July. So students wishing to join us in September 2021 should apply before this. And I believe and I assume PFL Education would be there to support you through your application process where required.
Yes. So, sir, I would like to know your final words on the current situation and some positivity to encourage students to apply.
Um, well, UK was the first countries who, among those first countries who rolled out this vaccination program. They have been dealing it very well. The government went into the process. They secured their side relaxation of the restrictions for everyone. Students wishing to continue their studies, they are very welcome to come in Chester, to come to the UK at large, with in a safe environment. Apart from this, I announced vaccination for any student for any charges. So UK government is doing its bit to secure and provide a safe teaching environment for the students. On the part of the universities, they are doing their best to keep their students safe, to keep the academic teaching going on. So students wishing to join us, they are encouraged to apply with full confidence, and we would like to welcome you at Chester. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's it. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thank you.
the session was very informative.
Thank you, Maham, and thank you, PFL team, for having me today. I hope we were able to answer some very common questions by the students, and hope this session will be useful for your prospective students. And I wish you all the very best, and look forward to welcome most of you at Chester. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.